Hi, welcome, welcome. I'm so glad you've joined me today. I'm Kelly Pitts. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Lubbock, Texas since 2005. So I'm thrilled that you're here today, whether you're watching live on YouTube or live on Facebook or you're watching the replay. I'm happy to have you. I hope I inspire you to create some of these storybook cards from the Winnie the Pooh line. It's called Silly Old Bear is the new suite from Stampin' Up! And it was a May online exclusive. And they're just available in the US. Sorry if you're in a different country and you don't get to have them, but it's a copyright issue. So we're thrilled that we were able to have a good quality product and use the theme from the Winnie the Pooh series from the original artist and really make it fun so that a lot of people have some nostalgic memories associated with Winnie the Pooh and friends. So I'm glad you've tuned in today and hope you will enjoy creating some of these cards of your own. This one is featuring Piglet. I will switch the camera over so we can get a closer look. And it's a birthday card with Piglet spreading happy wishes like a dandelion. I think that's what that is. So this is what we'll be featuring today. And I do have, this is number 10 of a series of 10 that I have on a PDF with all the measurements and photos and links to the video, etc. So, and supply list if y'all are interested. Or if you just need some of the supplies, then I have those listed below the video also. So thanks again for tuning in, and we will get going on this because it's a lot of fun creating with this suite. Okay, and if you received a class to go from me, make sure and be careful. Hold on to your embellishments. I would save them in your envelope until the very last, till you have to bring them out so you can't lose them as easily. Okay, we start with a crumb cake base, and it is just your typical 8.5 by 5.5 scored at 4 1/4. And that's what we're using for the card base. We'll go ahead and burnish that with our bone folder, and I always burnish both sides to get a good sharp crisp crease. And this Barely Blush, I don't know if you can see it. This is from the Painted Patterns paper, and it has a small striped side. I'll show you the other side, polka dots. Those almost make you crazy. They're so light on this Barely Blush. We do have it in all the 26 to 28 in colors. We have that in a pack, or you can get the neutrals, brights, subtles, or regals in a pack with that paper. And it comes with striped paper like we used on card number 9, or and also the polka dot paper like we have on this one. The plaid is the reverse side of some of the scenes, which I hardly used any of this pretty plaid because I had so many of the characters on the other side that I used, but I saved this especially for this particular card so that I had a little bit of that plaid. And then it's all beribboned, I called it, because I just think that double stacked ribbon really sets this off to have the linen thread on top of the Barely Blush ribbon. And this bordered ribbon comes in all of the in colors too. So we'll get going on this. Let me get my little glue mat out. Silicone mat that I use for gluing. And please let me know when you come on who you are and where you're from. Would love to know that. I'm always trying to reach new people and spread the word of how wonderful Stampin' Up! Is and how wonderful our Create with Kelly crew is here in the Lubbock area. If you're ever in this area, we would love to have you come to a class with us. We do quite a few of those every month. Okay, we're going to say this piece of the DSP, let me look, I think it's 3 inches by 5 1/4. And then I have this cardstock that's 1 1/4 by 5 1/4. And then we have another piece that's 1/2 inch by 5 1/4, and that's going to go on the inside, either that one or this one. And on my sample card, I used the 100 Acre Woods, but on this one, I thought today I'd show you what the Forever Plaid 3D folder looks like. And you can make this, if you want this wider, you can do it like this. If you want it going over the plaid a little more, you can put it a little lower. It just depends on kind of where you want it. So I'm going to go ahead and glue the Forever Plaid piece and just not go all the way with the glue to the edge so that I can tuck that wood under where I want it. Okay, so I'm just trying to get an even border, left, right, and bottom here. And then I'm going to take this. This is a two-sided. I like this side better. On the paper, it comes this Wood Grain Wonder, I think is what it's called, Wood Grain Wonder or something like that. And it comes in a couple of different wood grain colors. And we'll just tuck that under right there, under the plaid. Or are we going to put it over the plaid? We can just put it over the plaid a little bit, so we have the width. Okay, that's all there is to that. And now we can stamp our greeting, or we can go ahead and put this in. And be sure when you, if you're doing multiples of the dies, this is from the Sweet Words and Labels dies that is just wonderful, and it is not at all limited to just this Pooh suite. If this isn't your cup of tea, these words and labels that are with this bundle are awesome for all kinds of different cards. Certainly not limited to just this suite. Okay, we're going to pop this up. We can either build it first and then add it, or we can go ahead and add this piece. And we're going to, because I already have it in my hand, we're just going to pop it up. We kind of know where it goes. So we're just going to dimensional it. Dimensional it. Is that a verb? I think it can be a verb. Okay. So it's not going to necessarily be centered right here where the hearts are, or these little shapes. I'm going to put it above that because I want it to be a little bit further from the top than it is the bottom. And I want to leave a little room on the side. So I think that's about right. Let's see. I'm going to put that. Let's put it where you just see pink. I'm just showing pink in there instead of showing that line. So it's a little bit lower. Okay. Then we've got Piglet, which we're just going to fussy cut out really quickly. I've cut out the one for the inside already. But when you fussy cut, if you'll leave a little border, and you've heard me say this 100 times if you've watched several of these cards, but if you'll leave a little border around and not try to go right on the line of your figure, it'll be a lot easier for you. Make life a lot easier. And I'm just going to kind of zigzaggedy this in and out. And we're going to go on in. And this, I could have used the die on it, but I just missed it because there are so many of the figures on the other pages that you have to fussy cut that I forgot we had wonderful dies that will cut out one of the sheets. It'll cut out a lot of the figures, like one of every friend of Pooh's, Pooh and Friends, on one sheet. And it happens to be the one that has this hydrangea hue cloudy look on the other side. So if you're wondering if it has a die, just flip it over and go, oh, yep, it does, because it's on that sheet. And then the scene, see, that's a totally different sheet. So you know there's not a die for it. But leaving this little bit of wiggle room just really helps a ton when you're fussy cutting. It doesn't take nearly as long. You don't have to be as particular. It's not perfect. It's a handmade card, people. Right? Give yourself some grace. Okay. Now we're going to go in there a little bit between his foot and his body. Get that a little bit tighter right there. Still leaving some room between the body and the dandelion sprout or whatever that is. Is that what that is, a dandelion? Is that what you make wishes on for birthdays? And any kind of wish. All right, let's get, I think we're going to use the minis on this one because we need one there for sure. So we're just going to pop his whole body up. We want him to stay popped up. And if you come on, be sure and let me know you're here. I would love to greet you. Just tell me hi in the comments. I'll try to watch those. And if y'all have any questions, be sure to let me know. I'm happy to help. That's what I'm here for. Okay, I kind of want him grounded a little bit on that little stripe where it looks like he's standing somewhere, you know, not just floating in the air. So he is making his little birthday wishes. Now, before we attach this one, we will stamp that. I'll move this out of the way. And we'll stamp the happiest birthday wishes. And that comes from the Phrases and Frames bundle. That is a Susan Campfield Million Sales Achiever stamp set. So those of you who are in the Stampin' Up world know what that means. It's pretty impressive. That's what that is. Okay, let me see if I can get this where you can see it well enough. We got a lot of stuff going on here. Okay. Just tap, tap, tap. Make sure you've got this covered. I flip it over and make sure it all looks solid. And I'm just going to stamp this a little closer to the left because I know the ribbon is over there. So you don't want it to look too off center, but you want to give plenty of room for the bow. Happiest birthday wishes. And then on the inside, we're going to use another stamp from that same Phrases and Frames set that is really pretty and could be used for multiple days. It wouldn't have to be birthday, but in our case, it is on this one. May your day be filled with love and happiness. All right. And usually if I have a stamped image or an image cut from the DSP, I usually put it on the bottom right and then put the sentiment on the top left. And that way you've got plenty of room to still write your greeting, write your own greeting or message. Okay. And we're also going to use our, I'm going to get some scrap paper here, and we're going to use a little blending brush. I did not do this on my first one, but I intended to. I just happened to get it. I just didn't get it done before I glued it down. I forgot. Have y'all ever forgotten things like that? Okay, we're going to use our Barely Blush that is on the blending brush and grab our ink color, which is in our new magnetic ink pad that's so easy to open. You can see it takes no effort whatsoever. And then I usually fold it under like that to use it. You don't have to, but you can. But I'm going to put, I have cut out, you can tell I cut the sky off of this one. Instead of leaving it like this, I cut the sky off, and I'm going to do a little pink Barely Blush background in here to bring in that pink a little more. And you can use your small brushes or the large brushes. Either one would work on this. And I'm just kind of giving it a tiny bit of that Barely Blush. I mean, when they say barely, they mean barely. But I think this will be a pretty addition. Sorry if I'm shaking the camera. It's on the same table, so it's hard not to. All right. How fun is that? But if you always tap off when you're using your blending brush, get some ink on it and tap it off on some paper, and then go onto the paper, your cardstock, in a circular motion, you will get the best results. Blending brush away. All right, now we're going to add this right here and put our little plaid strip. I just thought this worked well with that plaid on the front. And if you if you have a lot of this paper, if you're not making a jillion cards, because if you get a full pack, you get 2 full pages of all these little figures. So you could spare some of the plaid to use. That would be pretty on that strip too. But I just made the cardstock plaid because I was making so many kits for classes. Okay, I'm not going to stick that all the way down yet because I want this to go underneath, but I kind of want it there for positioning. So I'm gluing this flat. This little scene with Piglet in the forest, smelling the roses. Because we all need to stop and do that every day, don't we? Okay, now I can glue the plaid down. He's tucked under. Then we'll add that to the inside of our card. Put the silicone glue mat out so I don't make a mess. Even border all the way around. Wiggle, wiggle if you need to with the liquid glue. It lets you do that. I'm adding a little bit more glue here. Get that completely down. That rose needs a tiny bit behind it, I think. All right, what do you think of that inside? Can you see a little bit of that pale, barely blush there? Is that not pretty? Okay, we're going to finish up our front. We're going to pop this up with the regular dimensionals. And I'm going to try to pick a different spot. I'm going to do it on here so I can feel where those are. Otherwise, I might be doubling up on the dimensional. If I just put it on here randomly, it might be on top of that one. So there's not one here. And there's not one here. Kind of must have put them in weird places, huh? Let's see. I think that might hold it. We'll just put it right here up beside that one. 3 should hold. See, now it's all even. Now we'll get our embellishments, and these are from the In Color dots from 26 to 28 In Color dots, the Barely Blush ones. And we're going to use one of the large size up on here. And then we'll use a couple of the smaller ones over here. And I like to use 3 embellishments when I can. Kind of gives it your eye a place to go. And we'll add a little Barely Blush bow. And I'm just going to tie that like I would a shoe. Just loop it over this finger. Hold on to the, make sure you've got a good tail. Make that loop. Come over the top of your thumb. And then into the hole. Can you see there? I'm just trying to push that through the little hole. And tie the ribbon. That one kind of twisted, but I think it's going to be okay. Good to go. Okay, when you're ready to tighten it up, pull both sides, pull the tails and the loops on both sides. Okay. And I just like to cut the bow at an angle. And you can flip it over and say, do I like this side better? Which side lays better for what I want? This side or this side? Does one look backwards? This other side looked better. It laid flatter. So I'm going to hold on to the knot and pull this. Whoop. I pulled it a little far, didn't I? Okay. I don't have the best bows, but they're bows. And it's handmade. So there we go. We don't want it to cover up our greeting, and you don't want it to hang off your card too much. So on this one, I stuck this on with a glue dot and on top of the knot for the Barely Blush knot. But I'm going to try to see what I can do here with, let's see, did I do a double? I did do a double. I think I'm going to try to run it through here. If I had a little thing of floss, that would be great. Dental floss, little loop, whatever those are called. But we're going to see if we can get this under here. If not, we're going to give it up. I should have tried to do it all at once. Come on now. Let's go. No, we're going to, okay. I'm going to redo it. Sorry. We're going to get those both the same length to start with. Then I'm going to put this in here and see if I can do it together. Center that. Not really what I want to do, but we're going to see how this works. I don't think that's what I want. I want it somehow to go into the knot. So what if I put those through right there? We'll see if that idea works. Now, have I lost my spot? Yes, I forgot what I was doing. Oh, goodness. Kelly, don't try this on a live. Okay, what we'll do is pull that a little bit, but not pull it tight yet. Nope. Last try, people. So sorry. It's making this video longer than it should be. Y'all can laugh. It's okay. If I had one of those little loop things, it would certainly help. What I'm trying to do is get that through that loop. Nope. Okay, we'll just do it on top like I did. No wonder I did it that way, huh? Now, we're just going to do this bow the same way I did my other one. Or we'll just tie it around it. Let's try that. Y'all are probably saying that, but you need to say it in the comments for me. Let's see if I have two long ones here. Yeah. Okay, we're going to try this. And I'm going to tie a bow here. Tiny one on top. Now that might stay better and not be sticky. because I didn't want that glue dot sticking out where it would stick to the envelope perhaps. That worked. That was easy, right? Goodness gracious. Okay. Move all that out of the way for you. We'll get a glue dot and just push the bow onto the dot. Then we're going to add it right here. The cute little bow, and beribbon the card. Get it where you want it. Okay, what do you think of that? Now we have to do a little wink of Stella on Piglet, and I think we'll be done, unless y'all see something I'm missing. Just sparkle, sparkle. Everybody needs a little sparkle. We're sparkling Piglet up and his little dandelion stem, and right here. And then I like to go along this edge too. On my original sample card, I had just opened a brand new Wink of Stella, and boy, it was ever dark right there. But it was pretty and glittery. And I could probably squeeze this again, but this will work. I'm going to glitter this layer too. Isn't that gorgeous how these dies, these Sweet Words and Labels dies, cut out the little detail stitching area in the cards too, as well as those little kind of heart shapes, and beautiful, simple, easy peasy card. And you could see how you could do this same card if you use the crisp cantaloupe and then use the timid tiger, use Tigger over here and a different piece here. I mean, it would be easy to change that up and make that work with different colors. So what do y'all think? Let me know. And I will change the camera around so I can say good evening. Thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you've enjoyed this card and the other 9 in this series. And I do have that PDF available. If you'll go to that Google form, you can purchase one of those, or you can join my team and get it for free. Yay! Or if you can sign up for, well, I think that's the only way. I don't have any kits left, so I did some classes to go and several classes, but that's the card for today. Thank you so much for tuning in. Hope you'll share it with your crafty friends. Thank you so much. Have a great day. Fun times ahead. Bye-bye.